You're the break after the bend. How much farther will we fall? And I'll wait for us to land. Still suspended, it's still dark. When I looked over my plans, this wasn't there yet, here we are. You're the break after the bend. How much farther will we fall? How much farther can we fall? What's it gonna take?
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kima. In this video, I'm going to be touching on a very sensitive topic. I know some people are for surgery and some people are not for surgery. I want to give you a background story of why I'm considering getting surgery. So I found out after I had my first son that I had what was called diastasis recti. If you don't know what diastasis recti is, it's basically a separation between your stomach muscles. So these were my stomach muscles, and then after having my son, my stomach muscles kind of spaced apart. Most people I know who have diastasis recti or who suffer from diastasis recti got it due to childbearing or childbirth. So at the time, the gap wasn't as spaced out as it is now. It was one of those things where when I first found out about it, I wasn't too worried about it because it's not one of those things where you could just look at somebody and tell that, you know, they have it. You usually have to go back for your 6-week checkup with your doctor, and sometimes they can tell you. That's how I found out I had it when I went back for my 6-week checkup. They checked my belly and they told me that that's something that I had. And it was like, it's fine, it's normal, most females get it after having a baby. So I was like, okay, cool. So, you know, time went on, and then eventually I had my second son. So when I had my second son, things got worse in my, you know, abdominal area. After I had my second son, not only did the gap of the diastasis recti spread apart more, but I also developed an umbilical hernia. So with the umbilical hernia is when basically I still have that gap, but I have a bulge in my stomach now. Before it was just a separation of my stomach muscles, but now that I have the hernia, it's just a little bulge right near my navel. So yes, I'm all for working out, and you know, I'm all for good health and fitness. Once I noticed that I had the umbilical hernia, I was like, okay, so how do I fix this? I went to the VA. The VA referred me to a specialist in Palo Alto. So I went there, and they basically told me they will be able to fix the hernia, but I would have to go through surgery. Once they told me I was gonna have to go through surgery, I was a little skeptical about it. So I went and got a second opinion and a third opinion and a fourth opinion. And everybody basically told me like, this hernia would have to be fixed through surgery. There was no amount of exercise or fitness that I can do to fix my stomach muscles. So I ended up speaking to my family about it, and they didn't want me to have it done all the way in Cali because, of course, you know, they are my support system, so they wanted me home. But I didn't really go through anybody out in New York. So I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna hold off on it because, you know, they don't really want me to get it. They told me to wait. And at this time, I know I was 6 months postpartum, and I was told to wait at least a year for my body to heal anyway. So I just waited, and I started developing a little discomfort in my stomach area. So once I went back for my second checkup with Tyree, they basically told me, they was like, oh, we can refer you to physical therapy. You know, it will help strengthen your core muscles and help with your back. Even though I didn't have much problems with my back, they said your stomach and your back go hand in hand. So this is my back and this is my stomach, and they need that support for each other. So I did physical therapy for 3 months. I didn't really feel a difference, but they told me that they could see that there was a difference in the way my form was, the way I was able to hold up the left side of my leg, my posture, so stuff like that. So eventually the 3 months ended, and I finished my physical therapy. I did feel a little bit better, but yeah, I still had the hernia. The hernia did not go away, and the gap did not go away. And you know, things are not gonna happen overnight. After I gained my strength back, I told myself that I wanted to take getting into the gym more serious. So I ended up going to In Shape and I hired a personal trainer. So my personal trainer basically wanted to know what my goals were and what I wanted to achieve, and you know, what are the main areas I wanted to work on. So I told him I wanted to tone my legs and I wanted to like flatten my stomach, because of course I just had a baby, and you know, you have that little I guess you could just say that mom bod. My problem area has always been my stomach area, and that was only after pregnancy. And I want to say with my second son, because with my first son I still kind of have a flat stomach. It wasn't nothing serious, like I was able to wear a two-piece. Now I'm not able to wear a two-piece, like that's done for. So I hired a personal trainer. The workouts he had me doing, it lasted for about 6 months, and then he moved on and did his own thing. And I was kind of upset because, you know, this is something that I was like finally taking serious, and he was leaving. I like the way he went about certain things, but he basically gave me a layout of everything he expected me to do, and I just continued doing everything he told me to do, and I started working out on my own. So as time is progressing, I realized when I went back to my doctor, it was like one time where I went to my I was doing research and I was looking at certain exercises to do for diastasis recti. And the exercises that I was doing at the gym were actually
making my diastasis recti worse.
I did not notice, but certain exercises you're not supposed to do. Like my personal trainer had me doing crunches and a lot of other exercises that just did not help with the situation that I have going on. Now, I didn't even think about it at the time. I was just thinking about getting my body fit, getting my figure back or whatever. So then I went back to the doctor and I basically told them, and they examined me and like see how far apart my gap was. So they told me right off the back that it had spread more. It was like more of a separation in my stomach muscles. And then they also told me that I can do a self-check. She basically told me there was a way to self-check to fill the gap in my abdominal area. So what you would do is lay flat on the bed. I would recommend that you get a mat and do it. That way you know for a fact that you'll be flat across the floor. So you'll lay flat on your back, and then you'll lift both your feet up at least 6 inches off the ground. And then what you would do is take your hand and just dab in the middle of where your navel is, and then just see if you have a gap. A doctor can tell right off the back how far apart the gap is. You probably won't be able to, but if you feel a gap, then that is called diastasis recti. So that's just a way to check to see if you have it. So once I found out that it had gotten worse, and then I had started getting discomfort down there from my hernia, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna consider getting this surgery. So I went back and they basically told me that it's just a minor surgery, it's nothing serious, like they can easily repair it and boom, I'm good. But what they also informed me is that if I was to get this surgery and they repair my stomach muscles, I was gonna still have, not bulge, but since I had a baby, I was gonna still have that extra saggy skin. And I was just like, well, what's the point of getting surgery if I'm still not gonna have my stomach the way I want it? So I started researching tummy tuck. And what a tummy tuck is when they basically go in and remove the excess skin from pregnancy, or some people get it from just being so overweight and they want to get their stomach snatched. So I'm getting it for medical reasons, obviously, and because I do want the flat stomach that I once had. And I know some people can argue and say, oh, you should just be happy with your body. Yes, but I wasn't born with the, you know, it's certain situations where everybody has certain insecurities. Everybody has something that they want to fix, or, you know, want to change about themselves. And this is a sensitive topic because I am very insecure about my stomach. Yes, insecure about my stomach, because you would think over the years you would just get used to it, but this is something that I just cannot get used to. I know how I want my body to look. I know how my stomach used to look, and I would like to reverse that and get back to how it was before. And I told myself, yes, this is something that I want to do. And I've been going back and forth with myself, like, do I really need this? You know, I look good. Everybody always say, you look good. But people can say, oh, your body looks good the way it is, but nobody's in my body. Nobody sees me like, you know, naked, where it's just certain things that I feel like people shouldn't even bother to speak about if they don't actually know the situation. And not only that, it's one of those things where sometimes people are insensitive about certain topics, and they just blurt out things. Like, I appreciate my body. I don't want people to think that I don't appreciate my body. Like, I'm happy that I was able to carry 2 healthy babies full term, but this is something that I feel like I want to do for myself. And I understand the aspect of people saying, oh, you should just go to the gym, you should just work out. I've done that. If you go check out my IG, I've been doing this for years. I've been working out for years. I want to say after I had my second son, that's when I started taking working out and fitness more serious, because I started to see the changes in my body, and I didn't like how my body wasn't as toned as it used to be. When I would finally start to gain the weight I wanted, it was just sit in my stomach area. So in all my pictures where I have on like a fitted dress, I always had to wear like Spanx or like the spandex, that kind of, the short spandex that kind of go up to like cover up that bulge that I have. And I'm just sick and tired of wearing those. Like, I want to be able to just put on a dress and not have to worry about or feel insecure about my stomach area. My stomach area has been giving me problems for years. Well, at least after my 2 pregnancies. I won't say for years, because before I never had these issues. Yeah, so I am officially getting a tummy tuck with Lipo 360. I did a consultation with Dr. Mark Chin, and he basically laid out everything for me, the pricing, what to expect before and after certain medications I should stop taking, certain things I should stop eating, just a whole list of things that you should and shouldn't do before and after surgery. Now that my surgery is booked, I just felt that it was time for me to get on here and basically be as transparent as I could be as far as me getting surgery. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, a lot of people don't talk about the moments just before surgery. Like, being that my surgery is next month is one of those things where I know it's a risk factor. I mean, even joining the military was a risk factor. It's just certain things that you have to decide what's best for you and what's going to make you happy. And this is one of those situations where I felt like this is something that I really want to do, and I've been struggling with this hernia for years. And it's not more of a I'm promoting surgery. It's just one of those things where I know somebody else is probably going through the same situation, and it's just good for other people to feel like they're not alone and they can relate to certain situations like this. I just want people to be aware of like your mental state. Sometimes certain situations like this can affect your mental state. I've been going back and forth telling myself like, no, you don't need this surgery. Then I started getting that guilt, like I'm spending all of this money on surgery and it could go to my kids. Like, it's so much. And then it's like you got the angel on this side and the devil on this side, and got going back and forth trying to figure out, you know, like what decision you're gonna make. And it was just, it's still hard for me to like just accept the fact that I'm getting this surgery, but at the same time it's just the reality of it. Like, I just want to bring y'all along on this journey so y'all can kind of see the outcome and just living the experience I'm living it. You just have to be aware of who you are, what you want in life, and I feel like you'll be better off that way. Like, in this situation, yeah, you're gonna have people going against like what you believe in and what you should do, but at the end of the day, it is your body, and you have to decide if it's something you really want to do and know why you want to do it. Always remember why you thought about doing it, because sometimes if you're not focused on the bigger picture, you can get distracted and you can start feeling like low and just you know, just bad about certain things. But I do want to say there are ways to heal your diastasis recti without getting surgery. Unfortunately, I have a hernia on top of my diastasis recti, which is making it a little bit difficult for me to actually get my stomach the way I want it. And then my stomach also stretched, so I have a lot of stretch marks on my stomach that I'm just it's just a lot. And everybody's pregnancy is different. Some people are able to bounce back, some people are able to heal properly. In my situation, I won't say I didn't heal properly, because like my uterus went back down where it was supposed to be. I didn't have any complications, but the hernia is still there and I need to get my hernia repaired. So with that being said, I'm going to end the video here. If you have any questions, any concerns about diastasis recti, you can DM me on IG, or you can just ask questions down below and I'll be more than welcome to answer them. But I've always said this before, just do what makes you happy. Don't focus on too much of what other people think. Yes, it's okay to hear other people's opinion, but at the end of the day, you have to make a decision for yourself and what's going to work for you, because you have to live with yourself. So I will keep y'all posted on my upcoming surgery, and I will see y'all in my next video. Later.
What's it gonna take